What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. Yesterday, Shohei Ohtani did something that he's never done before, which is crazy because I feel like he's done everything that you could possibly do as a baseball player. In that same game, Byron Buxton showed why he's a generational talent. He just has to stay healthy to show off that generational talent. We all know that Juan Soto and Aaron Judge are generational hitters, but what about their teammate Anthony Volpe? It finally seems like he's unlocked the code. He's breaking out. Also, do not forget about Fernando Tatis Jr., Mike Trout. They both went off yesterday, and Elly De La Cruz, he showed off the all-time speed versus the Brewers on multiple plays yesterday. All of that and more in today's MLB Recap, and just a shout out to you guys. We gained over 300 brand new subscribers yesterday. Can we beat that today? Your support means everything to me. And just a reminder, don't forget to use code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off all your tickets, and also on Underdog Fantasy, use code Fuzzy and they'll match your first deposit up to $100. Now, unfortunately, before we show the full-blown highlights, we have a few health updates to talk about. Framber Valdez, he was scratched with an elbow injury, and same with Nick Pivetta of the Boston Red Sox. Now, we'll talk about that one in a second. Framber Valdez, we know that he's teammates with Justin Verlander. Verlander, he spoke out and said that the pitch clock, it might be part of the reason, but he says the two biggest factors, the emphasis on increased velocity and increased spin. He says the new philosophy of pitching is what's causing injuries to spike, not the pitch clock, and I agree with him. I'm hoping that Framber is going to be okay. Same with Nick Pivetta, who has began the season as one of the best starters in all of baseball. So because we just talked about the Astros, let's talk about them facing off against the Rangers. Houston, they went up 2 versus their Texas rival. Bregman, he was able to drop one in. He scores Alvarez. Jeremy Pena's speed came in clutch. He legged out that double play. Blair Henley, he was making his MLB debut after Framber got scratched, and it was just not a fun debut. One to forget if you're Blair. He walked a few. Wyatt took advantage. That's an RBI single for Langford. The bases ended up loaded after Abreu couldn't pick it, and then Blair walked Evan Carter. He hit Josh Smith on a rogue slider. Jared Walsh got sawed off a little bit, but that's a base hit. 2 more score, ending Blair Henley's debut. But good thing the Astros have a Hulk, and that's Yordan Alvarez. Yordan went 431 feet for a 2-run blast, and then he tied it on a double in the 4th inning. 2 runners got in scoring position for Kyle Tucker, and he ripped one up the middle. Both score. Houston, they're back up a few, and now they're in double-digit scoring. Victor Caratini's first as an Astro is a 3-run home run. The Rangers, they were trying to rally in the 6th, and this could have been really bad. Alvarez, he makes the play, and then he made contact with Chaz. Thankfully, both were okay, and nothing really happened over the final few frames. The Astros beat the Rangers 10-5. So we are all knowledgeable baseball fans, so we know that the Astros and the Rangers are in the AL West. Same with the Angels, who are looking amazing lately. Maybe they can make a run at the West Crown. Who knows? The Fishman had a big game. Mike Trout tripled for the 53rd time in his career. That's his first RBI this year on a non-home run. Trouty, he scores after Taylor Ward sent one through the shortstop and third base gap. Mike felt bad that he ruined his 50 home run, 50 RBI pace, so he belted another solo home run. He's got 5. That ball went 423 feet. Ward, he clutched up again for 2 more RBIs after a base knock in the 5th, and skipping to the later innings, Rengifo and Moniak, they both singled to make it 7 runs on the night. By the way, Anthony Rendon, he had 3 base hits. But wait, it's 7-0. Who pitched? Tyler Anderson threw back-to-back gems. He is the first Angels pitcher ever with 7+ scoreless in the first 2 starts of a season. The Angels are now 6-4, which is good for a tie with Texas for first place. The Astros and the Mariners, they're both 4-7. So the Reds scored 10 in this one. The Brewers did not score 10, but does that mean they scored more? We'll have to find out. I know this is kind of a random jump, but again, Elly De La Cruz, he made some history, so I wanted to talk about it. His speed caused an error. He stole third base. The infield was in, but Ortiz, he made Adames reach for it, and with Elly's speed, he could not twist and fire to home plate. Did Will Benson just go lefty-lefty? He did. That's his first career home run versus a left-handed pitcher. Benson, he was at it again later with an RBI double. Spencer Steer, he might have 200 RBIs if he keeps this up. That's a 2-run double to score Benson and Fairchild. It's 7-0 Reds. Make it 8-0 Reds. Candelario got it past Hoskins, and Ashby, he got hosed by his defense. 4 unearned runs on the night. Milwaukee, they started taking some hacks. Ricky Henderson, Bryce Terang pelted a 2-run home run. He's got 1 home run and 7 stolen bases. He's on pace for like 130 stolen bases, something like that. The Brewers, they got 1 more on a Contreras single. But now we got to fast forward to this mammoth home run. Elly went 450 feet, 112 miles an hour off the bat. Adames, he's got some pop. He grabs it. No, he did not grab a home run because Stuart Fairchild, he's not fair. He brought it back. Willie, he robs guys all the time, so he laughed it off. He's done that before. Back to Ricky, Bryce Terang, he's now hitting 380. Again, he's on pace for over 125 stolen bases. Joey Ortiz, he followed that up with an infield single, and MV Yelich is back. Grown men are crying across America. He's on pace for an 80-40 season. It's not going to happen, obviously, but I'm so happy that he's back. It's now a one-run game. Elly came up again, and you got to know your runner. You cannot let that get past you. Elly, he flies around and scores in just 14 seconds. He's the first player ever with 4 runs, a stolen base, and a home run from both sides of the plate in the same game. Alexis Diaz had a nerve-wracking 9th inning. He let multiple base runners get on, but Hoskins, he flew out, and this was one of the better games of the year because it had everything. People were spamming me that these next few games were just as good, so let's just jump right into them. The Cubs and the Padres first, then we'll talk about the Mets and the Braves. Ian Happ, he delivered early on with the bases loaded. He knocks in 2 off of Darvish. There was a walk to Seiya Suzuki, and now the bases are jacked for Bellinger, and that just got past the diving Cronenworth, a 2-run single for Belly. The Cubs drove it all the way to 8-0. This game's over. Morel, he doubled in Happ, and Swanson, he tripled in 2 more. So again, it's 8 runs after 4 innings. That's kind of hard to do. Junior Assad, he was carving, but Jake the Rake, Mr. Cronenworth, he got him before the night was over. Assad leaves with 7 strikeouts over 5 innings. Oh no, here comes the Padres. Ha-Sung Kim, he pulled a Dansby. He sprinted all the way to third for a huge 2-run triple. Kim scored on a Campusano ground out, and Xander got the Padres within 1, his first home run of the year. The only problem is it's still 8-7 Cubs in the 8th inning, and Adbert Alzolay, he was deployed to try and get a 5-out save. But Nando, this kid is unreal. He tossed the bat. He sends Petco Park into a full-blown frenzy, his 4th home run, and then Robert Suarez, he struck out 2 for his 4th save of the year. Every single pitch that he threw was a fastball, all 14 of them. That ties the largest comeback in Padres history. The NL West is going to be a lot of fun this year if the Padres, they get some pitching. Staying with Padres pitching, or at least former Padre pitching, Blake Snell, he's still in the NL West, and we're going to show his Giants debut after this roller coaster of a Mets and Braves game. This was the 50th anniversary of Hank Aaron's 715th home run, passing the Colossus of Clout, Babe Ruth. You just saw the Braves start hot with Ozzie bouncing one off the right field wall. 1 scores, and Ronald, he was moving. I have no idea why he only has 83 speed in MLB The Show. 2 score, and 2 more score. Ozuna, this dude has 45 home runs and a 142 OPS plus over his last 155 games. Here comes the Mets though. Starling, he singled in their first, and Brandon Nimmo launched one into the chop house. It's a 4-4 ball game when Travis d'Arnaud, he untied it. He scores Arcia, and it's tied again. Brandon Nimmo smoked his 2nd home run of the night. DJ Stewart, he's searching for his first hit of the entire year, and he got on the board in epic fashion. 425 feet on that no doubt 2-run blast, and then Nimmo, he grabbed his 5th RBI of the game. So it's 8-5 Mets, and oh no, Albies, he took a walk. The ever dangerous Austin Riley's up now, and he rolled over, so it's 8-6. Diaz, he's unavailable tonight, and Ozuna, he sent one long and far, but it's caught. Tyrone Taylor, he leapt up, he made the grab. The Braves kept on fighting though. They're now within 1 after Michael Harris had an RBI base knock. d'Arnaud, he sent one to the gap. Both outfielders, they're closing, and Marte, he seals it. That was a fun game as well. All right, so we just hinted at it. Let's talk about Blake Snell's Bay Area debut. He struck out the first hitter on 3 pitches, then got Gallo to swing and miss to end the 1st inning. San Francisco, they were handed a free RBI as Lamont, he put it in play, and then Jung Hoo Lee scores after the ball was thrown around a bit. Snell, he was doing Snell things. He was striking guys out, but also walking a lot of guys. Way too many free base runners in this one. That's an RBI for Trey Lipscomb. I think I said it right that time. Luis Garcia, he beat out an infield single. His barrel rates look really good this year. Lipscomb is going to make it 3-1 with his blazing speed. He scores. Giants fans are going to have to get used to this style of pitching because Blake is going to strike out a million, but that does come at the expense of a lot of walks. But to be fair, he does a great job at limiting hard contact. He wasn't really destroyed in this one or anything. He only goes 3 innings, and then later on, Lane Thomas, he extends the Nationals lead. That's his first home run of the year. He's been really good lately, and he wasn't done yet, but I got to show Ildemaro Vargas. That's a double, a rocket 2-run extra base hit. Lane Thomas, there he is again. He plates another RBI. He has 7 hits over his last 3. Washington, their final run came on a bases loaded walk. By the way, shout out to Trevor Williams, 5 innings, 1 run, but the offense kind of stole the show. We're going to recap these next few games fairly quick because they were shutouts, and I kind of feel bad for the teams that lost. Like, not the teams themselves, but their fan base. Tristan, he threw zeros in the first and the second. He is trying to find that 2022 rhythm when he had a 2.9 ERA. Andres, he doubled for the 5th time. He leads the AL in doubles. Hedges, he had some bad luck. The ball was deflected, caught it second, but I still think it would have been an out if it got through. That one got through. Can't do that with Andres and his wheels. He dives in, he scores. Cleveland, they got it going again in the 4th as Naylor singles. He goes 1st to 3rd on a bloop single from Tyler Freeman. Laureano walks, and That's a bases loaded hit by pitch for Jimenez. He's been hit 50 times since the beginning of 2022. That is second in baseball, just behind Ty France. And yeah, J-Ram, he was angry about grounding into a double play earlier. That's his 100th career home run at Progressive Field. And big ups to Tristan McKenzie, 5 2/3 shutout. But again, I feel bad, so I'm just going to skip to the 9th. Clase, he's been money. There's a 98-mile-an-hour cutter to get Fletcher. He then got Paul DeYoung to roll over, and there's another 98-mile-per-hour cutter to end it. The strikeouts are back for Clase. The Guardians are 8-2, and they have a huge test coming up, a 3-game set versus the Yankees. Look at that segue. I am so good at this. Here we go. The Yankees, they are taking on the 1-9 Marlins, and yeah, they're about to be 1-10. Stanton and Rizzo, they got on for Volpe, and 2024 Volpe is a different human. He's got more power, he's got a different swing path, and he's still playing Gold Glove defense at shortstop. He's #1 in F4 in all of the American League. He's second just behind Mookie Betts in baseball. Juan Soto is third in F4 in the AL. He turned on a changeup to go lefty-lefty for a 3-run home run, his first in the Bronx. Verdugo, he even contributed. He singled home their 7th run, and Nasty Nestor, he was as nasty as ever. 1 hit with a bunch of strikeouts through 7. He ended up going 8 shutout with 6 strikeouts, just 2 base hits allowed on the night. 70 of his 102 pitches were thrown for strikes. My heart goes out to Marlins fans because, I mean, injuries, bad luck, and now they're basically firing their manager. I mean, it's not like he's fired yet, but they just voided Skip Shoemaker's option for 2025. All that really means is that they don't trust him. He's not coming back for 2025 most likely. It seems like his time is coming to an end and fast, and it's only a week and a half into the new season. The Yankees are looking primed and ready for a deep October run, and same for the Dodgers. Ohtani, he sent one over Buxton head. That's a double, and Freddie, he's going to try the same, but Buxton, he ran it down. Freddie's going to have to settle for a sac fly. Look who it is. The former Dodger, Manuel Margot. He was traded before ever even playing a real game for them. That is a 2-run tater, and then Ohtani, he's going to try and start a rally with another extra base hit. That is 5 consecutive multi-hit games. He's never done that before in his entire career. Will Smith, he tied it. The Twins accidentally walked Max Muncy, which set up a big moment for Teoscar Hernandez. He drove it in the gap, but oh my God, Byron Buxton, that was one of the better diving catches I've seen in quite some time. The Superman full extension grab. Baseball, they need 150 games from this guy. It's still 2-2 in the 7th when James hit one out, man. Sorry, James Allman trying to break out of his slump. And no way that this ball is going to get out. Okay, well, there is a way because he's the unicorn. He's Shohei Ohtani. He missed it, but he's still strong enough to have it go out. He's hitting .350 with 3 home runs and his 7 doubles lead baseball. Phillips had a 1-2-3 9th inning. The Dodgers have had like 4 different guys secure a save, but Evan Phillips, he's the big dog. The Phillies are taking on the Redbirds, and St. Louis might have let Johan Rojas get hot. He had 3 base hits in this one alone. That's an RBI. Trey had an RBI as well, so it's 2-0 Phillies. Marsh, he's going to try and take back that Ivan Herrera big fly, but just outside the outstretched glove. That was in the 7th inning, though, so we got to turn back the clock a little bit. Spencer Turnbull sorry, that's another bad pun. But Spencer Turnbull did toss 6 more shutout frames with 2 base hits and 6 strikeouts. I knew that he was going to bounce back, but 13 strikeouts, 0 runs in 11 innings. His first 11 for the Phillies, that's insane. Marsh, he missed robbing a home run, but he didn't miss that one. His 3rd already of the year. Philly, they tried Hoffman as a closer, and it didn't look that great. So 2 are on for Jordan Walker. There was a sac fly. It's now a 1-run game. The game is now in the hands of Mason Wynn, and he tied it. That just delayed the inevitable, though. I'm not going to lie. You cannot get Alec Bohm out with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .375 on the year with runners in scoring. Last year, he hit .345. My friend Bryson Stott lifted a sac fly, but the Phillies didn't really need that. Arenado, it looks like he's aged 10 years over the last 2 seasons. No walks on the season. No home runs. I'm hoping that he breaks out soon. And Gregory Soto, he looks pretty good in that Phillies uniform. That's his first save. Cole Keith got it going after everyone was out looking at the eclipse. I did not get to see it, but it looked pretty cool from the pictures. Torkelson, he broke a cardinal rule of baseball. He got thrown out at 3rd, but the Tigers are still winning. Pittsburgh, they answered with an RBI single off the bat of Connor Joe, and Joey Bart with a heat-seeking missile up the middle. 2 more RBIs for Bart. He just joined the team. He's already up to almost 5 RBIs. Jared Triolo broke it open versus Reese Olson. He played it 2 more as Connor Joe. He won't stop. That RBI extra base hit gives him 11 RBIs. Mitch Keller, he was fantastic. He racked up 9 punch outs over 6. If he can get that arm slot to be more consistent, he's going to be an absolute problem. Brian Reynolds, he's been a problem for quite some time. That was his 100th career home run. He has 10 RBIs on the season. Chapman, he got in some trouble. He's going to try and get out of it, and that was a nasty pitch. 101 with movement to strike out Javi. Chapman threw that same pitch, but this time lower. He got the out. Sawinski, he almost made a 10 out of 10 web gem, but that crash made the ball bounce out of his glove. The Tigers, they get one, but they still lose. The Pirates, they're 9-2. 9 wins, 2 losses. The Pirates cannot lose, while these next two teams have been trading wins and losses all season long. The Jays are 4-6. The Mariners are 4-6, but I already said their record, so if you remember, you know who won this game. Alejandro Kirk has been driving in a lot of runs lately, despite hitting under 200. The Jays are up 1. Vladdy dribbled a base hit, and then Bichette jolted, went to right center for a double. Davis Schneider, he just threw his bat at the ball. He delivers with an RBI single, and 2 end up scoring. Check this out. Davis Schneider has a 174 OPS plus through his first 135 big league at-bats. Just unreal. Vladdy barreled up another RBI single for the Jays, and look at Cavan making plays across the diamond. Again, right field, third base, shortstop, second. He can play any position that you need him to. Jose Barrios got in some trouble, but he struck out a hot Josh Rojas, then jammed JP Crawford to get out of that. He went back out for the 6th, and he was dealing a 1.8 ERA in his first 3 starts of the season. I'm glad that he's bouncing back after a terrible 2022. Both teams, they traded some runs. JP Crawford smacked a long home run. IKF got it back on a single. He scores Varsho. Cal Raleigh, he walloped the final run for either team. He's finally on the board. He had 27 home runs in 2022, 30 last year, his first one this year. Both Houston and the Mariners are now 4-7. I did not think that was coming. Speaking of 7, one of these teams scored 7, so it's got to be the Diamondbacks, right? Because Zach Gallen's on the bump. He's only allowed 1 run over his first 2 starts. Charlie Blackmon, he tried to go for a cycle in this one. That's a 3-bagger to set up an RBI opportunity for Tovar. He does it. That's the first time in 16 games that the Rockies have scored first. Randall Grichuk, he launched one, but the outfield at Coors Field is immense, and Nolan Jones, he was able to track it down. The run does score. Kevin Newman played at Eugenio Suarez. The runners advanced, which made this error even worse. Ryan McMahon is usually sure-handed, but 2 score as Newman, he barely got his foot in there. But here comes the Rockies. Chris Bryant, he blooped in an RBI, and Nolan Jones, he's trying to break out of that early season slump. He does it right there. 4 consecutive singles for the Rockies. Baseballs, they weren't flying all that well. The ball kind of just floated, but Montero, he ties it on a sac fly. McMahon, he hit it just hard enough. Suarez cannot make the play. The Rockies now have the lead. It got extended on an Elias Diaz bases loaded walk. It's 7-5 now. Chuck Nasty, he was halfway to the cycle. He got the 2 hardest parts done, but spoiler, he did not get it. But the Rockies, they get the W. That was one of my favorite recaps of the year. If you guys enjoyed, do me a favor, leave a like on this thing. If you're brand new, we post these every single day. Subscribe and enjoy the web gems.
The batter. Softly out to right center field. Everybody running in, and Rojas.
Grounded to the right side. Alonso with a sprawling stop. Hits Tehran.
Ground ball to the left side. Moncada diving to make the stop. And
line drive, and it's caught by